Alright, lads and ladettes, today I'm going to be talking about drama, and it's not really a drama, but it is a very important, uh, a very important conversation happening. So, Linus Tech Tips, Gamer Nexus, if you don't know Linus Tech Tips, Linus Media Group, a pretty big channel here on YouTube, makes a lot of informative content on, hardware, computer tech, PC builds, etc. They even have their own lab to test these things. So, they're pretty reputable, so we thought they're pretty a good source of information for all this tech, especially if they got a lab to diagnose these, like, say for example a new a new graphics card, okay, a new graphics card. I was going to say a GT, and then fucking we're not talking about cars here. But imagine, they got a new graphics card. Linus wants to go test it. He gives it to his lab, and his lab are supposed to do tests on it and see how well it can perform under, games and many circumstances. Now, Gamer Nexus is another channel who makes a lot of informative content on tech once again, and they actually made a video called "The Problem with Linus Tech Tips." And well, ignoring the title, like, because a lot of when you see that, you're like, oh shit. But when you click the video, you watch it through, it's a great video, pretty much breaking down all the problems that Linus Tech Tips and his media group have right now. And one of the things is not being, like, transformative enough with how they are doing their reviews and how many mistakes they make during their reviews in videos. And I thought it was a really informative video. I'll obviously put it down in the description below for everyone else to go watch if they want to after this video, obviously. But man, I don't know why the fucking Ender Pearl just blasted off in my ear canal, but uh, the Linus Tech Tip situation is it's concerning because the biggest part of it, I feel like, was where there's a situation where Billet Labs, I believe is the name, made a CPU cooler, right, to cool down the CPU when it gets hot. They're in a development of making a really, like, high end cooler that's going to be, like, it's close to $1,000, but it's supposed to cool. It's still being developed. It's supposed to cool down, the CPU, and it looks nice, and it looks very industrial, I should say, when you look at the pictures of it. But it's meant to, cool it down, and it's supposed to perform very well. And well, Linus got some deal with this company to where he was supposed to, like, review it and talk about it, and I don't. They gave it to him for free, I believe, and this whole thing, they wanted it back after the video was made, especially after he kind of, like, said, "Oh, this isn't worth a buy" in a video, and they wanted it back, and they promised they would send it back. Linus did, and then all of a sudden the thing ended up at an auction for Linus Tech Tips. It just the developmental piece of tech that this company was working on and like loaned, basically, or I guess you could say let Linus borrow for a video, right? And then Linus goes and auctions it off. This is like an $800 piece of, like, hardware that they need to develop and make more better hardware. So it was a really scummy thing what he did. I didn't vibe with it. I thought Gamers Nexus video was very informative and very good, kind of exposing a lot of the truth behind the company. It makes you kind of think, like, man, Linus, dude, you couldn't just fucking take the L. Like, you couldn't just say, shit, you know, we fucking up, man. We're fucking up bad. Let me fix this, right? But he didn't do that. He went on, like, 3 hours after the Gamer Nexus video was posted about him. He kind of went on a rant, blaming everybody else and not himself, and kind of, like, just moving blame away from himself and saying, like, oh, I guess, like, he just came off super fucking weird. I'll be honest. It's like out of character, but apparently, when you're looking at Linus Tech Tips Reddit, apparently it is in character for him. So it's just a whole like nutty situation. But I think what pisses me off the most is that Linus Tech Tips, the YouTube channel, it's looked at as a place to go for reviews, right? It's a place to go to for reviews, for tech reviews, to have information on what to buy. Like I watched Linus Tech Tips multiple times for the review on my pre-built computer, which I still own to this day. My keyboard and mouse, my monitors, everything. Any tech, really. I look for an opinion, and usually the channel I go to is Linus Tech Tips, or right now it would be Gamer Nexus, because he's obviously proven, Steve from Gamer Nexus, he's proven that they're more informative than Linus could be. But it's a weird situation. I think the weirdest part of it is the whole auctioning off of Billet Labs hardware. It's just like, you promised you would give it back. It was like an experimental hardware piece that they let you borrow for your video, and in the video you didn't even say anything good. You kind of talked shit, mad shit about them, and then you go around, say, oh yeah, we'll give it back, and then you auction it off. Like, they can never use that experimental piece now. They got a piece missing to their puzzle to make better shit. Like, what you did, like, reversed whatever like good was gonna happen for them. It's just, I don't understand it. And then I also don't understand like the just moving blame and not taking blame or anything. I don't get it. When you get exposed so fucking bad, and not even exposed, when you just get called out on your shit so bad, like, just take the L. Like, you did auction off a piece of hardware you weren't supposed to auction off. There's no excuse for that. You auctioned it off when you weren't supposed to. That's an L. And then you don't want to take blame for anything. That's another L. Uh, and you know, there's a whole nother thing with how he's treating his workers, and they're always under crunch because they got to get the videos out to be on the front page of that certain item they're reviewing. And man, like, even then, it's like, when you're a channel that big, do you really have to crunch like that? Like, is it really necessary? He says like all these mistakes in his videos and everything are really expensive fixes. Like, he would have to pay editors $700 to fix it. It's like, dude, I could fix that for fucking free. It takes 10 minutes. Like, probably the most difficult part of your day would have to be rendering that video, okay? With the amount of effort it looks like was put into it. There's no way you're paying editors like $1,000 or $700 a day to edit one of these videos. It's not happening. I know it's not, because it ain't happening. If it was happening, there wouldn't be any fucking mistakes in the video now, would there? Like, it's just, I never understood it. It doesn't make sense to me how people don't want to take L's. Just take the L on the face, because the L becomes smaller if you just take it, man, okay? Just think of it like that. If you eat the L, there's no L left, alright? But it's just, it changed my whole vibe with Linus Tech Tips. I really used to like the channel. I wasn't like a crazy fan or anything, but I did go on their forums. I did have a forum account. I did, you know, watch like any new video they would come out with, besides like the PC builds. But man, it's just, the Gamer Nexus video, it was so informative and so like well done. And then it's like Linus is like, oh well, all these mistakes can happen. It's just the way he fucking came off, dude. It was like, holy shit, you're just angry that someone's calling you out. You cannot handle getting called out. And it's like, what else can you not handle? It changes the whole vibe of everything for that channel. And it's like, his own subreddit is clowning on him. It's sad all around. It's like, dude, I remember before when you were talking about you wanted to retire. What happened to that, man? Shit. Should have just done that. But, yeah, Gamer Nexus, I'll link his video in the description, because it's about 45 minutes long of a video. He goes into detail, breaks everything down better than I could, and just he talks about everything that is going on with Linus Tech Tips. But man, I know I'm probably repeating myself at this point. It's just it's sad because I feel the worst for Billet Labs, who lost like a hardware piece in this whole like thing, because that's nuts. But at least, Gamer Nexus, he came in, made a video about it, got a lot of attention going on, and now Linus is dealing with his consequences, of his own actions. And it's just, it doesn't, I don't get it, man. It just, like, the funniest shit was, after he made this post, after Gamer Nexus made his video, right? He made this like post on his own forum page talking about, like, how it's so much work to make these videos, right? And then it's like the next video that comes out has an editing mistake. Like, in one of his new reviews, there's two like Amazon reviews he puts on the screen, and they're both the same person. It was just like, these stupid mistakes, dude. Like, so fucking dumb. Does anyone check your videos? Is anyone doing, where is the money going? Because it sure as hell not going into like any quality control. It's not going into any of that. And I know I'm the last person to talk about quality control, but Jesus, man. Like I said before, I make these videos just for goofs and gaffs. I don't even care if it gets a view or not. But Linus Tech Tips, I go to that channel for reviews, for information on hardware I am buying. And these companies, they use those kind of channels to, get a review on their product and to sell their product. And people are looking at your reviews to buy that product and look for a product. When you are doing these reviews and they're so uninformed and uninformative, and it's just like, why even, what are you even doing? And then he'll be like, well, we're not technically reviews. It's like, buddy, you have a fucking lab. All right, you have a lab and you're testing GPUs. You're obviously reviewing something here. All right, you're obviously making some type of informative, like, uh, design going on. Okay, I couldn't think of the word. I feel like Theo Vaughn right now. But man, I just Linus, Linus, Linus. It's a bad vibe from there. I just, hopefully he can have a comeback, get his shit together. There's like, just clean your shit up, man. Maybe step down if it's too much. But man, I hope the best for Linus, but he is a dickhead for doing what he did to Billet Labs. I wish the best for Billet Labs, because that CPU cooler looks fucking cool as shit. Get it? And, I feel happy for Gamer Nexus getting the respect he deserves, and the shout outs he deserves, and the subs he deserves, for really bringing this attention to light. Because not many people would have made a video on Linus Tech Tips. I don't know if you know this or not, but making a video on a creator like that with a bunch of connections is like, it's a like death sentence for a lot of channels. If Linus really wanted to, if it was a small channel or something, he could have probably been like, oh, this is all false information, and tucked it under the rug. But Gamer Nexus made a great informed video with, all this evidence you need and all this information you need. And it really makes you make up your own mind. And eventually at the end of the video, you're like, damn, Linus Tech Tips is a fucking asshole. So, yeah, I know I kind of went ranting on for a little bit, but man, it really got to me. It pisses me off when channels do like that. When, especially a channel I like does something like that, it pisses me off. So, I'm gonna unsub from Linus Tech Tips. Give him that L, like he cares. And I think I'm gonna stick to Gamer Nexus videos for now on. Definitely, man. Just, if there's ever a reason, like, if there's ever a learning lesson to be learned, just go and watch what Linus did, and you'll learn something. Quality over quantity. All right, but yeah, that's all I got. Like I said, in the description below if you're interested. Thank you.